Good morning, children. Welcome to the next session of video class from the lesson Reflection of Light at Curved Surfaces. Our today's topic is concave convex mirrors and vocabularies. How can we differentiate concave and convex mirrors? Okay, so already we have studied about the laws of reflection in the previous classes. We have learned that a light ray incident at an angle with the normal at the point of incidence will get reflected making equal angle with the normal. That means the incident angle is equal to the reflected angle. Always the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection as far as we have studied. This law is the laws of reflection. It is one of the laws of reflection and it is true for all surfaces, be it a plane surface or a curved surface. The important words here are the angle made with the normal at the point of incidence. Okay. If for any surface, one can decide the normal and find the incident angle. It is possible to deduce the angle made by the reflected ray. It is very easy to find the normal at any point on the plane surface. Okay, but a curved surface or uneven surface, it is not a straightforward. Then how can we find out the normal? Okay, today in our today's class, there are some keywords. So normal, what is normal? For a plane surface and for the curved surface, what is the normal and how can we find out the normal? Then focal point and focal length in case of concave mirrors and convex mirrors, and object distance and image distance. Let us find out the normal to a curved surface. Then how can we find out the normal to a curved surface? For this, we need to do a small activity, that is, we have to take a small piece of thin foam or rubber or just like a sole of a slipper. If you take a sole of a slipper, put some pins, sole of a slipper, it will be generally a plane surface. Put some pins along the straight line on the foam as shown here. Okay, then all these pins are perpendicular to the plane of the foam. Is it right, children? The foam will be plane, generally imagine as a plane. Then all the pins which are arranged to this plane are perpendicular to the surface of the plane of the foam. If the foam is considered as a mirror, each pin would represent the normal at that point. Each of the pin represents the normal. Any ray incident at the point where the pin makes contact with the surface will reflect with the same angle as the incident ray made with the normal. Okay, all the pins, whatever the pins are, I have drawn here, I have shown here, these are all pins. Each and every pin represent a normal and that is a perpendicular to the plane. Okay, that is in case of a plane surface. Coming to the curved surface, then now we have to bend the foam piece in inward direction. When you bend the foam piece in the inward direction, what happens to the pins, children? If you observe carefully, they still represent the normal at various points. All the pins represent the normals at various points, but you will notice that all the pins tends to converge at a point. Is it right, children? All the pins, when the foam is bent in the inward direction, all the pins tend to converge at a point, or they will intersect at a point. Okay. If we bend the foam piece in the outward direction, we will see that the pins seems to be move away from each other, or in other words, they diverge. So see the difference between the converging and diverging pictures, how I have drawn here. All the pins are intersecting with at one point. This picture shows the convergence, whereas all the pins are diverged. They are moving far away from each other. This is known as diverging. Okay, this gives us an idea of what is likely to happen with a spherical mirror. When we perform such an activity by taking a rubber sole of a slipper, then we will be getting some idea then what will happen when the light rays are falling on the spherical mirrors. A concave mirror will be like a rubber sole bent in the inward direction. Okay, then what will happen to the light rays which are falling? The light rays will be converging at the point. So concave mirror is called as converging mirror. And a convex mirror will be like the rubber sole which is bent in the outward direction. So what will be happening to the light rays? They are diverging, hence this convex mirror is called as diverging mirror. For a concave mirror, like these pins, all normals will converge towards a point. This point is called as the center of curvature of the mirror. Okay. And while learning about circles and tangents, you have learnt that a radius is always perpendicular to the tangent to the circle drawn at the point. This gives us a clue about how we can find the normal to any point on the spherical mirror. All that we have to do is to draw a line from the point on the mirror to the center of the sphere. All that we have to do is we have to draw the lines like this from any point on the mirror to the center of the sphere. The line drawn from C, center of the curvature. Here the center of the sphere is nothing but center of the curvature. The line drawn from any point on the surface of the mirror to the center of the curvature C gives the normal at that point. In this particular diagram, I have shown you with red color dotted lines. Two red color dotted lines I have shown you here, and both of them represent the normal. And here C is the center of curvature. As you know, P is the pole of the mirror. And I have drawn here two normals. Okay, children. So with this you can understand that what is normal. A normal for a curved surface is which can be drawn always from any point on the mirror towards the center of the curvature. Or we can also define it as the line which joins any point on the mirror and the center of the curvature is called normal. Now you see this picture. For any ray, the incident angle is the angle it makes with the normal shown as I. Okay. Suppose if the ray, incident ray like R is coming towards the concave mirror. Okay, this is the concave mirror, children, because the inner surface is acting as the reflecting surface and the outward surface I have represented with painted surface. Okay, so the incident ray R is coming in contact with the concave surface and it is making certain angle with the normal, and its reflected ray also meeting at the point of focal point, that is F. This one is the incident ray, this blue color line is the incident ray, and this blue color line is the reflected ray. Okay, the incident ray and reflected ray, in between them there will be some red color dotted line is represented, that is the normal, and the incident ray that is making some angle with the normal, that is called the angle of incidence, and the reflected ray also making some angle with the normal, that is called the angle of reflection. And you all know that angle I is equal to angle R according to the law of reflection. So to verify this, we must find out some way of obtaining a beam of parallel rays. Here I have represented you only one ray of incident ray and the reflected ray of that incident ray. But if we take a beam of parallel rays, then what will happen to the all beam of parallel rays? First, we need to create a situation in which one gets parallel rays of light. Children, to get a beam of parallel rays, the source should be at a long distance and it must be of sufficient intensity. Where do we find one such source, dear children? Yes, we have one easily available source, that is the sun. Okay, let us do an experiment with sun rays and a concave mirror. So, if you observe this picture, hold a concave mirror such that sunlight falls on it. Sunlight means here about 5 incident light rays I have drawn in this picture. 5 incident light rays, a beam of light. Consider a beam of light. Take a small paper and slowly move it in front of the mirror and find out the point where you get the smallest and brightest spot, which will be the image of the sun. The rays coming from the sun parallel to the principal axis of concave mirror converge to a point. Okay, this point is called as focus or focal point of the concave mirror. Okay, I have clearly shown you here, that is, these all lines, these are the incident light rays which are coming parallel to the principal axis. You all know that this is the principal axis, and these are the incident light rays which are coming in the parallel direction to the principal axis. Okay, the light rays which are coming in the parallel to the principal axis, when reach this concave mirror, they will reflect, and the reflected rays will be converging at a point on the principal axis. That point is called as focus. Okay, for each and every incident light ray I have drawn you the reflected ray also. Okay, and I have shown the normals also with the red color dotted lines. Okay, and all the reflected rays are converging at a point. Now this is called the principal focus. It is represented with the capital F, and from here to here again we have to measure the distance of this spot from the pole of the mirror. Okay, if you measure the distance from this spot to the pole of the mirror, this length is called as focal length and it is represented with small f. Okay, focal length of the mirror. The radius of curvature will be twice the distance. The radius of curvature means here from pole to center of curvature, total distance is the radius of curvature, and it is said to be the twice the distance of the focal length. Hence, in the previous session I have said you r is equal to 2f. Okay, here to here focal length. Okay, and here to here is called the radius of curvature, and radius of curvature r is the double the focal length. Hence R is equal to 2f. Okay children, and can you draw the same diagram for a convex mirror? Yes, for a convex mirror also we can show like this. The parallel rays appear to diverge. Here we can see that the parallel rays which are coming parallel to the principal axis. See, this is the principal axis, and these are the incident ray number 1. Have shown you here. This is the incident ray number 1. This is the incident ray number 2. Okay, the two incident rays are coming parallel to the principal axis, and they are when they touch the convex surface, the surface of the convex mirror, immediately they will be reflecting back. Okay, but these reflected rays appear to come from a particular point on the principal axis inside the mirror, that behind the mirror. Okay, the parallel rays appear to diverge after reflection. Okay, the reflected rays will be diverging after reflection, and if we extend the reflected rays backwards, they meet at a point on the principal axis, at one point, that is focus of the convex mirror. That is called as the focus of the convex mirror. Actually children, remember that for a convex mirror, the focus lies behind the mirror, not in front of the mirror children. This is the mirror. Okay, this is the front side of the mirror and this is the back side of the mirror. So here I have to represent with some certain lines. Painted surface. This is the painted surface children. This is the back side of the mirror. This is the front side reflecting surface of the mirror. In the light rays incident on this surface, they will be reflecting, and all the reflected rays appear to diverge. And if we extend the reflected light rays in the backward direction, then they will appear to meet, not actually meet, but they appear to meet at one point on the principal axis, that is behind the mirror, and that point is called as the focus. And from the surface of the mirror to the focus, this distance is called as the focal length, and it is represented with small f. Okay, this is the, hence all the reflected light rays are diverging from the surface. This convex mirror is called as diverging mirror. I hope you have understood why this concave mirror is called as the converging mirror and this convex mirror is called as the diverging mirror. Okay children, this is about, here I have drawn you only one concave mirror. This also shows concave mirror only. So concave mirror means the back side will be this one, painted surface will be this one, and this one is the reflecting surface. So as the light ray which is parallel to the principal axis coming and touching the surface of the concave mirror, and the reflected rays are meeting at one point on the principal axis. They actually meet at one point on the principal axis, and that point is called as the focus or focal point. Okay, this is the first incident light ray and this is the second incident light ray, and these two are the reflected rays of the first and second reflected rays, and both of them meet at a point that is called focus point of the concave mirror. Okay, this is the difference between concave and convex mirror. Remaining topics we will see in the next class. Thank you children.